All right. Good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am your meteorologist, Peterson. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Thursday. I am about to go on and start off with our weather. But first, we have to talk about our normal things before we go on and get started, which, if you're new, you might not know, but for the recurring people, we know that we always talk about. First off, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you go on and do so. We are at 584 subscribers, trying to get to 600. We are 16 away from that main goal. Also, make sure that you go and hit the like button. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. So far, everyone has hit the like button so far, it seems. But just in case if it's glitching out, make sure that you go on and do so. Also, go on and hit the share button. Share with all the people that you know, because the sharing is caring. And you can even share it on social media or any sort of other platform. So what are we going to be talking about today? First off, the drought monitor. Drought monitor is out. The drought monitor predictions are already inside of the poll right now, so it's already up for you to go on and vote on. Also, we're going to continue to talk about our dry conditions as we continue through the rest of this week. We're also going to talk about how we might have some patchy fog, mainly inland, especially in those low-lying areas. Especially as we go through some more parts of just like the next 7 days, and then we will have just a stable atmosphere. We'll continue talking about that stable atmosphere. But that's all that I have for our look at what we're going to be talking about. So what's going on with the radar right now? There is nothing going on with the radar right now. Absolutely nothing going on with the radar right now. And I mean, that's just pretty much what our story has been as we've been going over the past couple of days. Now, what's going on throughout the entire U.S., that is a completely different story. We have rainfall going on down there inside of Florida. That was expected. We have showers and thunderstorm activity in Alabama. We have severe thunderstorm warnings over here in South Dakota, and rainfall even going on in Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, California, Nevada, Minnesota, all getting some of that rainfall. Arizona is also getting some of that rainfall, and even into eastern North Carolina and near like Virginia Beach, you have like some isolated shower activity over there. So what about our cloud cover? We do in fact have some cloud cover near the coastal regions. Again, that was expected. Same thing with over there inside of the Midlands, and parts of the upstate have some low-lying clouds going through there. What about even further into the future? Cloud cover kind of pushes its way through the coastal region, even goes into the upstate a little bit, goes inside of the Midlands a little bit as well, but stays relatively on the scattered side. You're not really seeing too much there. Now, if we go into tomorrow morning, that cloud cover will really start to build up as you go into like tomorrow late morning, going into the afternoon, especially in the Low Country and Grand Strand area. Current temperatures right now, 74 in Columbia, as well as 72 in Orangeburg, 72 in Somerville, and 72 in Sumter, 72 in Hartsville and Florence, as well as 73 in Lugoff, 72 in Bennettsville, and 70 in Conway, 73 in Myrtle Beach, and 73 in Murrells Inlet, 72 in Georgetown, and 72 in North Myrtle Beach. We have also around 73 in Charleston, and as you move up here to the upstate, you're around 70 in Spartanburg, 70 in Gaffney, as well as 68 in York, 69 in Rock Hill, 72 in Greenville, 74 in Clemson, and 71 inside of Anderson. Now, what about your low temperatures for tonight? Low temperatures for tonight around 61 in Greenville, as well as 59 inside of Spartanburg. We also do have around 61 inside of Anderson, 59 in Lawrence, 59 in Greenwood, and even 63 in Columbia, 64 in Orangeburg, and 62 in Barnwell, 64 in Walterboro, 64 in Moncks Corner, and 69 in Charleston, 65 in Georgetown, and 67 inside of Myrtle Beach, 71 inside of Hilton Head Island. Now, what about your rainfall in terms of accumulation? There is indeed no accumulation that is expected as we move through the next 24 hours. And I mean, as you can see earlier, we even talked about the radar and about how that there is nothing going on. And so this will continue. Now, what about the crazy score? Crazy score for tonight, we're at a 12. We are at a 12. I mean, that's not really too surprising. Not really too surprising at all. It's going to be pretty much a calm night. Dry conditions, mild and comfortable. Patchy fog is possible tonight, again, in those inland areas, especially inside the low-lying areas. But other than that, that's it. The SPC outlook, we do in fact have no risk for any sort of thunderstorm activity. No thunderstorms are expected today. No thunderstorms are expected tonight, I should say. But as you go into tomorrow, we do have a thunderstorm risk that goes for the coastal low country from downtown Charleston over into Hilton Head Island, over into Beaufort, over throughout all the beach areas as well. And that will go on again for Friday tomorrow. Day 3, Saturday, there is no thunderstorms that are expected on Saturday. Now, what about excessive rainfall? No excessive rainfall is expected at this time. So we're going to go on and look at the models now, starting off here at 9 o'clock p.m. You can see, according to the models, it had rainfall going on. But again, this is not occurring right now. Even if you go on and look at the newest model, it says no rainfall is occurring at this time. And that will most likely continue as you go all the way to 7 a.m. I mean, you can kind of see like some little green dots, but that would be like a little drizzle. That wouldn't be anything that wouldn't accumulate anything at all. So most likely, it looks like that we're going to remain mostly dry. And as we go on into tomorrow afternoon as well, same thing. It's going to stay mostly dry. Even further into the future, going into September the 12th, we have maybe some potential for some rainfall to go in through around like September the 12th, as some rainfall moves through on that day. Tomorrow, obviously, through like the PD area. It's possible, but again, it's relatively light, and that wouldn't drop as much precipitation at all. And that's the only thing I see for tomorrow, and then for September the 13th, we remain dry. So just a mostly dry period as we continue through the next 48 hours or so. The long-term future is a different story. We're going to talk about that right now. You can see a high pressure taking over us right now. Not surprised as we have dry conditions. You have some coastal moisture that might try to move into the state around like September the 15th during that time frame. And you can see as it moves its way inland, it kind of looks like a low pressure. I don't see a low pressure on the map now, but it kind of is circulating almost like a low pressure. Now as you go on into around September the 20th, and the 21st, look at all this rainfall moves in. And you're about to see in a second where all this rainfall is going to on September the 21st, going to the 22nd. That is a probably tropical storm, low-end hurricane, if this was to occur on September the 21st. Now, it pushes its way up, and it probably would definitely cause some flooding concerns, gusty wind concerns. But again, this is 11 days out. So this will change, and so definitely do take this with a grain of salt. And right after it moves through, if this was to occur as a model, the high pressure takes over almost immediately again, but we start to get some more rainfall. Now once we get to around like September the 24th, we really can't go any further just because that's just 300 hours out. We can talk about patterns though, and it seems like for the most part, we might get some rain, a good amount that potentially might move through, but I'm not seeing anything in terms of a huge storm system or anything like that. But I do want to go on real quick, since we are here. I do want to continue to talk about, since we have this high pressure and it's going to be mainly stable, I want to talk about the tropics now. Because with the tropics, we have this area right here. Disturbance 1 over here, we have a 30% chance of cyclone formation. It says right here that a tropical wave is forecast to emerge offshore of Western Africa by Friday, tomorrow. Environmental conditions could support some slow development of the system over into the weekend or even into early next week, while the wave moves towards the west or the west-northwest at around 10 to 15 miles per hour over the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. So this has a 0% chance of forming over the next 48 hours and a 30% chance of forming over the next 7 days. So this has the chance to. Will it? We have no idea. And you just saw the one that we just saw in the GFS. Had how it kind of made its way up into Florida and how it kind of rode along the South Carolina eastern coastline. Is that this one? is that this one that you see right now on your screen? And I can tell you right now that that is indeed not what we're looking at right there. So the yellow area that you see on your map, if you just were here for the long-term portion around like a couple of minutes ago and you saw that hurricane slash tropical storm getting up towards South Carolina, that did not come from this yellow area. That came from another area, actually from the Gulf. And as you just continue to move your way through, I mean, it looks like that it might try to form. I mean, just I can already see kind of like the low pressure, but you can see the moisture coming in from the Gulf, and then it starts to get its act together around like September, like the 16th, 17th ish, and then that's when it tries to make its way. Now, how long will it stay over water? How long until it gets towards us? Obviously that's 200 hours out, so we're not going to go in too in depth with that, but I will just continue to stay watching for that one. And even in the past runs, was this showing the same thing? It actually was. It actually was showing it not towards Florida and South Carolina, but actually towards Louisiana and Texas. So a lot of different runs. It's going to go all over the place, but we might have an inland area to watch for, not just for this one right here in the yellow, but also the inside of the Gulf as well. That's it for the tropics, so that's all I wanted to say for that one. And speaking of the yellow one, actually, before I get off the tropics real quick, the GFS, that one just has it curving out. In fact, I believe almost most of them do. If I go in and go over to the ensemble right now, we're going to go to the Euro one. Now, if I go in and stop it, most of them have this area right here going out, but it has another area and another wave coming off right behind it, so we're not done. We definitely are not done. Also, peak hurricane season was yesterday. Yesterday was the peak, and usually we would see storms, we would see the areas of interest all over the place, but it's just been a lot more on the calmer side. But that's all that I have to say for the tropics. It's now time to talk about the drought monitor. Now, the drought monitor, if you have no idea what these drought predictions are, we go in and do this every Thursday, every time that they release a new drought monitor outlook. And we say, and pretty much the answer choices are, because the last time we had this, there was an abnormally dry, but it was relatively small. 57% says the abnormally dry has gone away. 29% says the abnormally dry remains small. And 14% says that an abnormally dry has grown larger. While 0% of people here thinks that a drought has started. So I've done my research, obviously. Go on checking. I see how much rainfall did we get this week. Will it potentially grow into a drought? Will it potentially shrink? Will it potentially grow just larger in general? And from what I can see, we didn't get much rainfall this week. The most amount of rainfall that we got was around 1/10 of an inch to 2/10 of an inch. So I do not think that the abnormally dry is gone. So I disagree with the majority already. I think that the abnormally dry actually got larger. I do think that the abnormally dry definitely did get larger, because not that much rainfall fell, only around 1/10 of an inch to maybe even 1/4 of an inch, but that's it throughout the entire state. So I'm going to say it has grown larger, so I'm going to go in and get the drum roll real quick, and we're about to go in and reveal this. And my prediction actually was correct. The abnormally dry got larger, so congratulations to me and the 29% that got this correct. So, unfortunately for the majority got it wrong. That's unfortunate. But for me, I apologize, the 14%, not 29% was the abnormally dry remained small, so the 14% that got it correct, so that's even smaller. So only 14% and me got this drought prediction correct, so congratulations to me and the 14% that got it correct. So that's all that we do. That's pretty much all it is. And so hopefully next week we'll have the majority get it correct next week. But for now, the minority gets it correct this time. There was no earthquake that occurred inside South Carolina today. Usually I go in and check to see if there was any earthquakes or anything like that occurred today throughout the state. The last one that we had was the one where there was like 7 at like in like a short amount of time, which is very odd. Not one has happened since though. But what's going on throughout the audience? If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the live audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with my Nana, she says, "Hello, Jay. Such a beautiful, beautiful day. That's great. Hello to you. It's great to hear that it was a great day." Mr. Anthony says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you." Mr. Chris says, "Good evening, everyone from Monk's Corner. Please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button. If not, also share with everyone you know." Thank you so much for that. Good evening to you also. Like he said, we had 13 people tune in, and we only have 6 likes. Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why 7 people have not hit the subscribe button, hit the like button yet. So if you are part of that 7 that have not hit the like button yet, make sure that you go on and do so. It's free and you can change your mind at any time. Mr. Chris also says, "Very beautiful day today. Not too hot and a light drizzle as well. Nothing stuck." Yeah, I did feel like a little drizzle, but it wasn't anything that would accumulate, and definitely nothing that you needed any like rain gear for. He also says, "Also, please remember those who were lost their lives in Twin Towers." Absolutely. Absolutely. Please make sure that you are remembering those people. My cousin Cheryl says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I hope all is well. The weather today was nice in Philly. Keep up the good work, Weatherman." Love, Cheryl. Thank you so much for that message. And hopefully all was well with you. And great to hear that the weather was nice. Terrell says, "Greetings, everyone. Greetings to you." And then my Aunt Lula says, "Good evening, everyone. I had a great day today working on my fall garden." That is fantastic. Never knew that there was... Yes, I did, actually. I do take that back. I just never really thought about the season just in between. I usually just see gardens, and I know there's specific things that you can grow in fall and winter and stuff like that, but I never really thought about calling them specific seasons. Like you have the fall garden, summer, spring, whichever one it may be. Never really thought about it like that. I'm going to have to get myself a plant update, too. I'm going to get a picture that I'm going to show, because I have rotated it. Thank you to my Nana for that. Show me to rotate it. I did, in fact, rotate it. I'm going to show my picture of my plant, if not tomorrow, because I actually will be here tomorrow, or on Saturday, whichever day. Let's go on and talk about the 3 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, what in the world am I talking about? I thought this was just a South Carolina weather channel. It is, for the most part, but we do have areas that we talk about outside of South Carolina, and that is just because we have people from those areas that watch from other areas almost daily. So starting off with Raleigh first, Raleigh being the first location, Raleigh, North Carolina, with low temperatures tonight at 62, high temperatures tomorrow at 83, and the low temperatures tomorrow night at 58. No precipitation is expected tonight or tomorrow, but there is no excessive rainfall and no severe weather that is expected at this time. So you have nothing to worry about, again, in terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall. You're all good there. What about Philadelphia? You have low temperatures tonight at around 59, high temperatures tomorrow at 80, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 61. No precipitation is expected at this time. No severe weather is expected at this time as well, and no excessive rainfall is either. So what about the final location? Let's see if Duncan has some bad luck. You have low temperatures tonight at 67, high temperatures tomorrow at 94, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 69. No precipitation is expected at this time. No excessive rainfall is expected at this time, and the same thing with severe weather. So you are good. All 3 locations are good with severe weather and excessive rainfall. So that's it for those 3. What's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise, just weather news. A stationary front will continue to bring heavy to excessive rainfall over southern Florida into Saturday, with localized and urban flooding possible. Heavy to excessive rainfall is forecast through Saturday over the southern Rockies into the southern plains, and then instances of flash flooding are possible, especially inside of the higher terrain and inside of the burn scars. We also do have those air quality alerts that are going out right now. We have a lot of new locations that are now included for air quality alerts. Houston, Texas still is. Dallas, Fort Worth still has air quality alerts out. Memphis, Tennessee also has an air quality alert out, advising people not to be outside there. Also in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, they're advising people not to be outside for too long, and also in Atlanta. So all of those areas are advised not to be outside for too long, as there are air quality alerts out for those specific areas, and it's just unhealthy. And so that's pretty much all that I have for. That's all that I have for us for tonight. Let me go in and check out the chat. Mr. Chris says, "What about those Canadian wildfires?" For the Canadian wildfires, I mean, I haven't been keeping too much of an eye on them. There's no air quality alerts. For the northern part. I believe there isn't. Well, there is up here inside of Washington State. But other than that, I have not seen anything yet. But it says smoke from, well, that's from earlier. But there is, I mean, it is still going on. Obviously, it is still going on. Wildfires are still going on inside of Canada, but they don't have as many air quality alerts out for a lot of areas inside the U.S. But that is all that I have for that as well. Trey also says, "Beautiful day here." Great to hear. And then let's go and talk about the top fans for tonight. Mr. Chris is at number 1, Trail is at number 2, and then my cousin Cheryl is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you have to be active inside the chat, so more than just 1 or 2 messages. Also, you have to go on and be a subscriber of the channel, obviously, because if you're not a subscriber, you can't win it. And you also have to be here early. But that's all that I see inside the chat as well. Again, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you go on and do so. We're at 584, 16 subscribers away. We finally got off the curse that was 583, and we're now at 584. So we are 16 away. Remember, at 600, we are doing a Q&A at 600. So a question and answer at 600 subscribers. So we are getting closer and closer, and once we get to 600, the Q&A will happen. But we got to get there first. We got to get those last 16 people. But I will be back tomorrow morning with your Friday morning forecast update. Only one more day to go, and we will be there to the weekend.